purpose of our project was to document the chilling effect of those who received information from their FOIA requests to the NSA. FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, was put into place in order to urge government agencies to give information access to U.S. citizens regarding their personal information that the agency has recorded. Each member in our group participated in sending FOIA requests to the NSA. Altogether, there were 5 participants who sent in their requests. My name is Sarah. I'm 20 years old, and I'm a sophomore at the University of Oregon. My major is psychology, but I'm also working on getting my certification to be a fitness instructor. I'm interested in exercise, counseling friends, watching videos, and dancing. I spend probably about 2 hours a day on the internet, being generous because I work so much, so I don't actually spend a lot of time on the internet. My favorite sites would include YouTube and Facebook.
My name is Stephanie. I'm 19 years old. I am a freshman at the University of Oregon. I am a journalism major. My hobbies, I guess, would be to just hang out with my friends, talk to ones back home, go to football games, basketball games. I spend quite a bit of time on the internet. I usually spend it on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, sometimes homework.
My name is Tetsuo Ogawa. I'm 27 years old and sophomore. My major is business. My hobby is climbing. I usually spend 3 to 4 hours on the internet a day, and I use music streaming site and news site often.
My name is Esther. I'm 18 years old, a freshman at the University of Oregon. I'm majoring in advertising. As a hobby, I enjoy drawing and painting. I spend about 3 to 4 hours on the internet each day, probably more than that, I don't even know. My favorite site on the internet is probably social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anything of the sort.
My name is Rachel. I am 19 years old, I'm a freshman, and I'm working on getting a major for business and finance for accounting. I enjoy playing video games and working on digital art. Approximately, I spend around 2 to 4 hours on the internet a day. My favorite websites are DeviantArt, YouTube, and...
Being a pirate is a wretched thing. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Unfortunately, the NSA denied every request to obtain our surveillance information from their records. This project demonstrated privacy violation from the internet surveillance that the NSA operates. Tetsuo scheduled an appointment with a lawyer for legal advice regarding how to approach the NSA. She warned him that the NSA was a hornet nest. You could keep poking, but it may harm you. We appealed to the NSA, demanding our information, as withholding it would be a violation to the Fourth Amendment. The next letter most of us received notified us that our appeals were still being processed. The only appeal that was processed stated that, because this agency has already responded to you and has fully complied with its FOIA obligation, we are not processing this request. Additionally, any future requests made by you concerning this topic will be filed with your previous FOIA case with no further action by this agency. In order to accurately document the chilling effect, we conducted interviews with each member who received denial letters from the NSA.
What do you think are the NSA's reasons for denying your FOIA request?
The NSA is authorized to engage in these activities in order to prevent and protect against terrorist attacks, the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, intelligence activities directed against the United States, international criminal drug activities, and other hostile activities directed against the United States.
I'm not really sure. I think they like to have everything private for their own personal reasons. I think they just don't like telling people what they're doing. They feel like if they keep it secret, then it'll stay a secret.
I think that they have something to hide. They don't want us seeing everything that they have on us, regardless of whether there is anything or not.
I think that's because government violated our privacy and they don't want to show that fact.
Do you think they have good intentions for their collection of information?
I think so. They want everything under control.
I feel like they gave us some pretty good reasons, but I still think it's a little sketchy.
I think the intentions are good. It just doesn't make us feel good about it, because when they don't show us what they have, they just collect more and more data, and it's kind of scary to think about it.
How do you feel about the NSA collecting information on you but not telling you what it is?
I think it's really scary. I think we should have a right to know what's being held from us.
I am not comfortable with that fact, and I'm worried about how they're going to use my information.
I don't really like not knowing what it is that they're collecting because it's like my information. Obviously, it's stuff about me, so I should know what it is specifically that they want.
Do you feel your privacy has been violated?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I do. I feel my privacy has been violated.
Only because it's like my information and then they don't tell me what it is that they have.
Would you rather not know about the NSA's surveillance?
I'd rather know when and where, how they collect our information.
I feel like it's better to know because then you're more aware.
Yes and no. Like, I want to know that they are like keeping things from me because like that way I have an awareness of it. But at the same time, like if I didn't know about it, then it wouldn't make anything, like it wouldn't change my life.
We aren't the only ones who are disturbed by the NSA's unwillingness to cooperate and unnecessary surveillance. The EFF is currently suing the NSA on multiple fronts in attempts to put an end to the excessive NSA surveillance. FISA Improvement Act aims to establish NSA surveillance program as illegal. Essentially, the NSA would be permitted to not require a warrant for their surveillance, which would increase their spying capability. Citizens can make a stand in this battle against unreasonable NSA surveillance by sending letters to their state senators urging them to vote against the FISA Act. The overuse of surveillance by the NSA is toxic for democracy. We need security to advocate, not because we have something to hide.